would I take another solo cruise on Princess? That is a good question. The answer is yes, I would. So I did a 3-day sailing on Grand Princess last month, September. I flew up to Vancouver, British Columbia that same day. I do not recommend you do that, but I took a chance and I made it. The only thing is I didn't get a chance to explore Vancouver. Oh my gosh, the hotels in Vancouver are so expensive. Why are they so expensive like that? I wanted to go the day before, but the hotel I wanted to stay at was $900 a night, and I paid $1,100 for the cruise. So I'm like, oh no, I don't think so. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So, but anyway, so I flew up that morning. I took a shuttle. So Princess had a shuttle from the airport to the cruise port. The trip took about an hour, which was fine. I got to see a lot of the cool building and houses in Vancouver. So I just sat on the shuttle with my camera taking pictures of the buildings and looking at the sights. The only thing, it was raining, so you know, I saw a lot, but it would have been nicer if it was a nice sunny day. So I arrived to the cruise. It actually took quite a while to get on board the cruise ship. So I booked I think the Premier package, and I didn't realize that there was a separate line. They kind of just herded us all into the same line. So it took me a while to get up to the desk, and I ordered my little medallion before. I got it for free, and I thought I had my lanyard with me, which I did, but it wasn't where I thought it was. And I had the wristband. The wristband was kind of uncomfortable for me. So when I got up to the desk, I asked if I could have another lanyard, and the person told me no. She said, no, you received that in the mail, so no, I can't give you another one. Come on now, I know you have extra lanyards. I know you have extra lanyards. What is it, like $1? Come on. So I said, okay, fine, that's fine. I'll just use my wristband, whatever. So then, since our cruise stopped, so we were supposed to go to Victoria, British Columbia the next day, but because of the weather, that port was canceled. In which, guys, if you book a cruise, just be mindful that your itinerary may change. That's happened to me. This is the second time that's happened to me. I took a transatlantic cruise solo about 5 or 6 years ago, and we were in the remnants of Hurricane Ophelia. So we had to cancel one of the stops, and we ended up, I don't even remember where we were going, but we ended up going to Bermuda, which was fine. We stayed in Bermuda for 2 days. I love Bermuda. But anyway, so because of that, we had to go through customs again. Like when I got to Canada, I had to go through customs for Canada. And then when I got to the cruise port, I had to go through customs again for the United States because we weren't stopping in a foreign port. But the good thing is, when I got off the ship in San Francisco, I just got off the ship. I didn't have to go through customs. And one tip, especially if you are a solo traveler, and I'll say it, if you are a solo female traveler, minority, and you like to travel out of the country, I suggest you get global entry. Saves you so much trouble. Plus, it comes with TSA pre-check. And even if you don't look like me, even if you're like to travel, if you like to travel out of the country a lot, I still recommend global entry. But like I said, especially if you're a female and you look like me. So I don't want to make this about race, but I'm keeping it real. So I've had some issues in the past. So highly, highly recommend it. So anyway, so I got on the ship. The ship is an older ship. It was built this ship is an older ship. I looked up the information. It was built in 1998. So that's pretty old, but I have to say it doesn't look like it's that old. It has the traditional decor, which just by looking at other videos from Princess, it looks like that's the standard decor. So it's like the brown, you know, the kind of traditional, more formal looking decor. But yeah, I didn't realize that ship. I knew the ship was older, but I didn't know it was built in 1998. Because all the other cruise ships, no, I take that back. My very first cruise was Carnival Destiny, and that was a pretty older ship. And then I think after that, it went to dry dock, and now it's the Carnival Sunshine. I don't know. It turned into another ship, so which I'm not saying I'll never take another Carnival cruise. I'm not going to say that, but Carnival is not my first choice. Anyway, so I booked a balcony cabin, which it did rain the whole time, but I still sat out on the balcony. It was nice because I could see land. So I booked a cabin. So we were going north to south. So I booked a cabin on the port side. The port side is the left side. Starboard is right. And I purposely booked it on the port side so I could see the land from my balcony, which I did some days. Some days it was kind of foggy, but it was still nice to, you know, sit out on my balcony even though it was kind of cold. So the ship, like I said, it's an older ship, and it's the decor is more traditional. And Princess does cater to a more older crowd, but on this particular sailing, it was interesting. There were a lot of first-time cruisers. I think because a lot of people from the Bay Area took their first cruise, like they flew up to Vancouver, because actually on my flight, I could hear people talking about the cruise. And I said, oh wow, there's a lot of people on this flight that's going to be on the same cruise that I'm on. Even like where I sat, the people like kind of catty corner to me over here, they were talking about it. And then I just heard people like in the airport terminal talking about the cruise. But this man was talking to me and he asked me, was this my first cruise? And I said, oh no. I said, no, this is not my first cruise. And he said the reason why he asked that, he said because he heard 60% of the passengers on this particular sailing, this was their first time cruise. So therefore it was, so even though Princess does cater to an older crowd, there were a lot of younger people on this sailing because of the 3-day cruise. So that was nice. There were a lot of people on the ship. I want to say that ship can hold, so this particular, I'm looking at the information, this particular ship, the maximum is 3,100 passengers. I don't think there were 3,100 people on that sailing. I've been on larger ships, like I've been on the Norwegian Epic and Norwegian Getaway, and you know, those are bigger ships. So it was a lot of people, but it didn't seem like the ship was packed, which is good, that's fine. So my cabin was spacious. The only thing I didn't like about my cabin was the bathroom with the shower curtain. I love glass doors, it just gives you more room, and then it's like, I don't know, I guess, I don't know. It's just a preference of mine. I prefer glass shower doors. The balcony had plenty of space. I showed a video, I'll link it here so you can see the cabin tour of the balcony. I walked around the ship. The ship was actually small compared to, like my last cruise was Norwegian Getaway. So, okay, so this ship, the tonnage is 107,517, and then the Norwegian Getaway. So the Norwegian Getaway, the tonnage is 145,655, so a lot larger. And that ship can hold, oh, I thought it was bigger. So it says the capacity on that ship on Norwegian Getaway is 3,963. I thought it was bigger than that. I think maybe Epic is bigger. I don't know. Anyway, let me get back to the point. Okay, so I did like the ship. I explored. It had a lot of places where if you wanted to be off to yourself, you could. It had 3 dining rooms. I had meals in 2 of the dining rooms, the Da Vinci and the Botticelli. And the Botticelli was dinner on my last day, and Da Vinci was breakfast the second day of the cruise. And my other meals I had in the specialty dining was Sabatini's, the Italian restaurant, and Crown Grill, which is their steakhouse. I really liked Crown Grill. Sabatini's was nice too. Don't get me wrong, I had the ossobuco, which I haven't had ossobuco in a very long time. It was delicious. But I enjoyed my meal better at Crown Grill. So one of my questions I have is, did I enjoy the food? Yes, I did. Like I said, there were a couple of things in Sabatini's that I didn't like, and I'll link that video. And you'll see, I pointed out, I was like, you know, I didn't talk during the meal. I just kind of gave like thumbs up or like, man, you know. So there were a couple things I didn't like. I did have breakfast. Actually, all 3 days I had breakfast in the buffet. In the buffet food, actually the breakfast, I only had breakfast. It was pretty good. They had eggs. The eggs they had like regular scrambled eggs, and then they had eggs with like different types of meat. Like the first day it was salmon. The second day it was eggs with crab meat, and then the third day it was eggs with ham. Green eggs and ham. Dr. Seuss. Anyway. The thoughts that come into my head, I swear. Sorry guys. So yeah, so and then they had this really good, it looked weird, but it was so good, this breakfast pizza. So if you see that on the Princess, get it, it's so good. They had smoothies, they had all types of juice. Now the buffet was small, but it was on both sides. Like it was on deck 14, I think it was deck 14 in the middle. And they had a side here and then a side over there. So they had seating on both sides. So that was nice. It just wasn't one buffet area, it was two. It was never crowded. And I didn't have any problems finding seating kind of off to myself. So did I like the entertainment? I did a tour, which I did film that, but it was kind of crowded. And I wasn't like in the front, so I could really show you guys. So I don't think I really included much footage from that tour. But we walked through all of the common areas of the ship, which was nice. And then I also did a cooking demonstration and then after the cooking demonstration, we did a tour of the galley. So that was nice. To be honest, because of the weather, they did cancel one of the shows that I was going to attend, because the ship, like you can see it on when I talk about when I was in Crown Grill, you could see the ship. Like I'm doing like this, and the ship was rocking and rolling, and I felt really bad because there was a couple sitting in front of me. The woman, she was getting so seasick, and I had Dramamine and Bonine with me, and I almost offered it to her, but I'm like, I'm a stranger, she may not take it from me, even though I am in the health, medical field, but I wasn't in the medical field on that cruise, and I almost gave it to her, but I'm like, and actually one time, when I went on Norwegian Epic, we did the tender boats, and the tender boat was doing like this, and there was a woman sitting in front of me, and I went with one of my friends that I work with, and both in the medical profession, and I had some Dramamine. I gave the Dramamine to the person there because her face was turning color, so and I'm like, you might want to turn away from me. I didn't want her to throw up on us, so I'm like, here's some Dramamine, and it actually worked for her. And like I said, the woman in Crown Grill, I felt really bad for her. She could barely stand up. Her husband had to like really kind of grab onto her and walk her, because like I said, the ship was moving, and I wonder if that's her first cruise. I don't know, but yeah. So I can't really speak on the entertainment, like the shows, because the one show I wanted to go to was canceled. They did have the comedian, like they moved the comedian to the main Princess Theater. And actually it's funny, like I was walking and I met him, so, but anyway, I didn't go. I think I just probably went back. I think I went back to my room that night and watched the Love Boat in my cabin. So another question is, did I like the staff? The staff, they were so friendly. Every staff member I met was so friendly. You know, they took the time to talk to you, get to know you. I asked questions about them. How do they like being on the cruise ship? So I really appreciated that. Actually, I hope you guys don't hear that noise. Hopefully you don't. So yeah, the passengers, like I said, the majority of the passengers were older. I didn't encounter any rude people, but like I said, I'm very much an introvert. I don't really initiate conversations. People just kind of come up to me. I guess because I'm like smiling and filming and stuff on the cruise ship, and people are like, oh, hi, what you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And you can hear it in some of my clips. People, you know, talking to me about the filming. Oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. You're filming and all this stuff. So people, like I said, people were just coming up talking to me. I wasn't going around talking to people. That's not me. So I prefer actually just to, you know, keep to myself. Not saying I don't talk to people, because that I obviously do. I'm talking to you guys, but you know, anyway, in public, I'm usually not one to start conversations. So I had to say the passengers that I encountered were pretty friendly. I didn't have any rude encounters. I have to say that, oh, and another thing. So, okay. So another question is the cruise solo cruiser friendly? Absolutely. Princess is solo cruiser friendly. They did have solo gatherings. They were unhosted. Unlike the last time I sailed with Norwegian, they had like a solo cruise director. They used to. That was 6 years ago. I don't know if they still do now. So it was hosted. So these meetings were not, but they were in the Princess Pattern, and it had the time and the place where you would meet. And usually, I think it was before like a dinner, or you know, maybe after dinner. So the people who wanted to, the single and solo cruisers, could get together and meet each other. Now let me explain the difference between single and solo cruisers. So a solo cruiser could be either or. They could be, so a solo cruiser is someone who likes to travel by themselves. It does not mean that they are single. It doesn't mean that at all. They could be single. They could not be single. They could be married. They could have a significant other, but they choose to travel or cruise solo. A single cruiser is usually someone who's maybe, and this is just my interpretation, maybe someone who wants to meet other people on the cruise ship, maybe for like romantic encounters or friendships or something, you know, like that, whatever. You get the drift. So yeah, so just because someone is by themselves doesn't mean that they're single. I just want to put that out there. So yes, Princess is solo cruiser friendly. I have to say the solo program on Norwegian is really good. They even have the solo cabin area, which actually I just literally booked a cruise for my birthday next year on Norwegian Prima, and leaving out of Galveston, and I booked a solo cabin. I normally love balconies, but I decided that particular cruise is kind of port intensive. So I decided to save some money and book a studio cabin on the Prima. And of course, I'm gonna take you guys with me. So the last question is, would I cruise with Princess again? I would. If I could find a good deal, I absolutely would. I think, would I cruise Princess solo? Yes, I would. But the whole time I was on that cruise ship, looking at the demographics, I kept thinking my mother would really enjoy this ship. My mom has never been on a cruise. I've been trying to get her to go on a cruise for years. Mom, so if you're watching this, you're going to go on a cruise. So I just kept thinking, and my mom is an extrovert. She likes talking to people. So I said she would love this. So I think the next time I go on Princess, I'm going to talk my mom into going with me. But I would absolutely, if there was a good deal and the time frame works with my work schedule, I would go on another Princess cruise. I actually wouldn't mind taking Princess on an Alaskan cruise. I know that they are known for that, so I think that would be a great opportunity. But actually, I haven't booked it yet, but I can do conferences with my job, and we could do like land trips and cruises. So I am looking at an Alaskan cruise in May with for a work conference, and it's on Royal Caribbean, which I've never sailed Royal Caribbean, so I think I'm gonna take advantage of that. And I'm trying to talk my mom into going because that would be her birthday, and it would be nice because my grandmother, her mother, my maternal grandmother, always wanted to take an Alaskan cruise, so I thought it would be special if I took my mom on the Alaskan cruise with me, even though I'll be in, in conferences, but she could explore the ship and just kind of, look out the window. I'm definitely going to book a balcony cabin so we can look out. So when I book, I want to book, I'm going to book that on the starboard side. So when we go up, I guess it doesn't matter, but when we go up, we could see the glaciers and all that stuff. So in less than 2 weeks, I am going on another trip. It's actually a work conference. Hey, I like these work conferences. They're fine. So I get to go and travel for free, well, almost free, and learn stuff for work and go to places I've never been before. So I've never been to Hawaii. So I'm going to Hawaii in a couple of weeks, and I'm taking you guys with me. I'm going to the Disney Aulani Resort, and I'm staying in Waikiki on the front end and the tail end of the trip. So I'm technically staying in 3 hotels. So I will record and show you guys each location. I'm super excited. The next trip after that will be 2 weeks after that. I am going down to Palm Springs, another solo trip. But this time I will do some sightseeing, but I'm going there to record for my other YouTube channel. So, but I will, show you guys the hotel, and if I do some sightseeing, I will record that. And then after that, I'm going to Sacramento for my other YouTube channel. And then I want to take a trip to LA. That's also to record for my other YouTube channel, but to also sightsee too. So if I do that, that will be in January, the middle of January. And then, like I said, the end of January, February, for my birthday, I'm going on the Norwegian Prima cruise. So I'm super excited. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I decided to make this channel because I do a lot of traveling for my other YouTube channel. And I said, I might as well document and show you guys where I'm going and traveling to. Cause like I went to Phoenix for a graduation, but I was filming for my other YouTube channel. And I should have recorded that. I wish I would have recorded that. That was so nice. I went to Scottsdale and Phoenix and didn't think to record the journey and all that. I recorded a little bit of the hotel, but we did, we drove around and stuff. It was so pretty, and I didn't think to record. But anyway, I'm rambling, sorry. Thanks for watching. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Until next time, happy traveling.